This week, your candidates have been TikToking, Instagramming, blogging, vlogging, singing, dancing, doing some very impressive Yoda impressions, and eating a whole McDonald's in one bite. But tonight, we find out who you have elected as your new executive officers and chairs for 2021 to 22. Tonight is results night, and you are joined by myself, Rosa Serra, and Sam Peters, which, by the way, we both colour coordinated.
Yeah, I didn't get much of a say in the old colour coordination, so you're stuck with a blue suit, and I am sorry for that. But you guys have spent the week voting, and these guys have tried to convince you that you should vote for them. We'll have the results coming up in 15 minutes or so. But before that, we've got a couple of Meet the Candidates sections with both the section chairs and the exec candidates.
So who are the candidates? Well, let's start off with section chairs and what each one are running for.
I'm JODIE Evans, and I am running to be... I'll do that again.
I like finger guns.
Hi, I'm JODIE Evans, and I'm rerunning to be next year's Action Chair.
I'm Seth, I'm running for Society's Chair.
Oh, I'm Nathan, and I'm running for the Enterprise Chair.
Hey, so my name's Cameron, and I'm running to be the Enterprise Chair.
Hi, I'm HETTIE BAWDEN, and I'm running for RAG Section Chair.
I do medicinal pharmaceutical chemistry.
I did my Masters in Pharmaceutical and Medicinal Chemistry.
I've graduated now, but I did do geography.
I am a third-year economics student.
I do computer science.
I am, I have to think there. I'm 20, I'm 21 in 14 days.
21.
I'm 22.
I am 22 years old.
I'm very offended, but I'm 21.
Favorite thing about Loughborough? Can I say RAG?
I think the amount that you can get involved in, I think that's how we differ. There's so many different ways that you can get involved. There's so many different, even if you haven't done a certain hobby before, you're going to end up doing it when you come here. So definitely, all the stuff you can do here.
My favourite thing about Loughborough is genuinely the people that you meet. I've certainly made some lifelong friends.
It's definitely meeting people who are similar to you, like in terms of interests. So I play badminton, I ride electric skateboards, and I love Enterprise. So it's really awesome to meet people who love the same thing as you.
Is Society's a cop-out answer, or...?
So Loughborough Communities itself is Queen's Park. I absolutely love it there. There is a parrot called Perry who my housemates dance with, and it's really cute just to watch. And then campus-wise, this is gonna be quite sad, and because I haven't quite let go. I was a Towers girl, and I just absolutely love Towers as a building. So I think my greatest achievement again comes from this year of being Action Chair. Matt came into my office one day and said, okay, we're going to start helping isolated students, and I want you to spearhead it. And with the help of the rest of the team and other people in the building, in 48 hours we set up a running COVID Community Champions scheme where we got volunteers to help students in isolation, and we've since helped 1,800 students.
One of them, I'd say, is getting into Loughborough University, obviously, big thing. And my other one was a really exciting one that I did many years ago, 2017, and I came second in the Magic Circle's Young Magician of the Year competition.
I would have to say it's my Year in Enterprise award with my electric skateboard during my placement year. That was great. Yeah.
So I ran in the exec election last year, and I didn't get ROM'd, which was quite nice, but I also ended up with 200 votes, and I didn't win, which, that is what it is. But at the same time, I've kind of never had that thing of, hey, 200 people each supporting you right now. And even though I lost, it was really heartwarming to know that there were people out there who'd been like, hey, you would do a good job, and it was really nice. That's my greatest achievement.
My greatest achievement was probably I represented England at an international running competition and won, and it was even more special that I'd just come back from quite a serious injury and been told that I wouldn't be able to row again, so that was incredible to come back from that.
Okay, I'm not a fan when people put on a kind of fake persona. I don't like things like reality TV and that sort of thing. I don't like the fakeness of it all.
Pet peeve is people chewing with their mouth open. It really my spine, horrible.
I'll go simple. When people say loose instead of lose, it really annoys me. it's just one really, and I'm dyslexic, so I should be the one making that mistake.
Currently, it's just washing up on the sideboard. I'm really bad because I go and wash up my washing up as I go along, and then there's people's stuff there, and I get really gritty about it to almost say it, and it just annoys me.
Okay, so let's just have a little chat. Obviously, we know that we've got a couple of rerunners in the section chairs category. We've got Hettie going for rag, we've got JODIE going for action, then of course we've got Cameron, but he's going for a different role.
Yeah.
But you had a very interesting chat with Pippa Bainham in Elections Live a couple of days ago, and she had a very controversial opinion about rerunners.
Yeah, Pippa's not afraid to make her opinions known, and she pointed out that rerunners, they've been in the system for a year. They're maybe slightly disconnected with the students. They know the union's targets and KPIs and how to keep a budget. But there are pros to being a rerunner. They've had a year of experience of knowing how the system works and how to make the most of it. And so it'll just be whether they've convinced the students that it's a positive or a negative.
Okay, well, it looks like we have another presenter, Danny, who is on the scene with Vajiro, our current Vice President, to have a chat. Danny, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Thank you very much, Rosa. I am here with the Vice President, Vajiro. Hello, Vajiro. So, how has this week gone for you? How do you think this week's gone?
Well, Danny, it's been really, really interesting. It's obviously a very different election than we've seen before, so there's a lot less sort of being out there, there's a lot less night activity, so it's been less physically draining than I imagine a normal campaign is. But it's been very interesting. As I've said, I've always looked forward to seeing what the candidates would do, and they did not disappoint at all. So it's been really, really interesting to watch everything throughout.
Yeah, all their social medias and stuff have been amazing. But unfortunately, in the last couple of years, we have seen a slight decline in the number of votes that are coming in. What are DRC going forward going to do to try and boost this number up a bit?
Well, I mean, it was always somewhat expected with the year we've had. I think we've seen sort of less engagement with the union throughout the year, so it didn't come as a surprise necessarily. I think what we did, so what was really heartening to see was that there was still the same sort of interest from student groups and halls and societies really pushing it to their members. There was still a similar level of interaction with the candidates and the students. So while it was foreseeable that the engagement would be a bit lower, I think we're still really, really proud with how much the student body got behind the election.
And lastly, in 3 words, how has your Vice President's tenure been?
Long, together, and interesting.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Vajiro. We'll come back to you later on in the elections.
No worries.
But back to you now, Rosa and Sam.
So we've already had a chat about section chairs, but let's take a look at executive officers and who are running for each one. Let's take a look at how they got on in Soapbox Day 2, where Josh Gray griddled them with questions.
Hello and welcome back to the second day of the Soapbox debates for the 2021 executive elections.
I hope over the next 30 minutes or so you learn more about me and why I'm standing.
And I guess moving on to probably the most important that's affecting us all at the moment is the coronavirus. This wasn't on your manifesto at all.
Yeah, so I don't think it's worth wasting time in a manifesto. Obviously we have very limited words, and I think everything that I have mentioned in my manifesto is really important, and even more so now we're coming out of COVID.
Well, it's the second interview of the afternoon is welfare and diversity.
So I don't think that's a drastic change, Josh. I think that's something that's been happening already. I mean, it's something I've been pushing for the past year.
They don't need to be moved anywhere. I think where they are is a very good place for them to be.
Have you considered each section other than welfare and diversity, and their volunteers? Have you consulted them?
Yes, so by way of initial consultation, I've had a conversation with every section chair and their relevant member of staff.
How would you work with the university to help solve this problem that you call systemic?
Unfortunately, because of a lack of power structures or long-term strategic vision, that the involvement with students can sometimes be tokenistic or performative.
There we go, it's the third debate of the afternoon. It's the education debate.
My manifesto revolves around inclusivity and representation, where I will ensure every student is heard.
Experience and has really enabled me to get a holistic insight into the education section.
Do you think LSU should have taken a different stance regarding tuition fees? And if so, what would it be?
I think the stance that we took or LSU took for tuition fees was, at this time, I think, retrospectively, there could have been a plan in place that would allow a reimbursement of some parts of the tuition fees.
Well, there we go. We're on to one of the two big ones now. It's Vice President.
First of all, I think one of the key parts of the Vice President role is obviously line managing the sections.
I think it's with managing the section heads, it's really important to know about their sections and know what their committees are like and know what the problems are with that.
Do you know what DRC does? Do you know what the objectives are and the points are of DRC?
Yes. So if they put out a post or if they put out an action event where it's okay, so what do you want to see changed about the university?
The happenings of the union, such as even DRC, the DRC agendas or minutes of the meetings, for example, that are meant to be posted online. There's always been a lot of problems with this. People don't know if they're going to be posted, where they are, that sort of thing. So I think stuff like that, which could be improved, is quite a simple fix. It's just a matter of making sure it's done.
Well, there we go. It's the big one. It's the presidential debate here at LSU on the Soapbox.
My manifesto is based around maintaining both old and new traditions as we ease out of the pandemic.
With a new VC come new opportunities. With the introduction of a new Vice Chancellor at the university, it is very important for us to start off on the right foot.
So if you had to get rid of one role, one aspect of the role of president, to make space for more communication with the student in your role, what would it be and why?
I actually wouldn't remove any part of the presidential role. I've looked at what's been advertised, hence why I've gone for the role. And I believe if I removed a part, I am working for the students and for the benefit of them. I wouldn't want to remove anything, I'd want to just make it better.
I think representing the students should not be something that I need to prioritize, it should be something that I'm always doing. All of the work that the president needs to be doing should always be aimed at representing the students.
What does LSU mean to you?
Through the years experiencing many of the roles that I have experienced, it has meant something where I could grow as a professional, grow as an individual.
I think Loughborough and LSU are home, and LSU helps embody Loughborough to become the family it is. So that's all it means to me. It provides opportunities, it provides a family.
Well, that's it from the Presidential Soapbox. That's it from the Soapbox this year, and that's it for 4 years of Soapbox from me. It's been a pleasure, and I'm going to hand down back to Sophie Brasher and Danny Brett.
Oh, that's kind of sad that Josh has now finished 4 years of Soapbox. He can't leave, we're just not allowing him to leave. Now, funny thing with exec officers, over on the LSU Media Twitter, on the exit polls, it's been very close for a lot of the roles.
Yeah, we've had a couple of tight ones. The president exit poll was the tightest of those. Elsewhere, it's sport unopposed, so Rachel quite a way out. Enterprise very close there as well, and Vice President close as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether those polls lead to the actual results. So the order of what's coming up, we're going to be starting with Action and JODIE Evans.
RAG with HETTIE BAWDEN.
Enterprise with Cameron Glenwright and Nathan Chan.
Societies with Seth Johnson.
Alex Marlowe and Jean Cameron for Welfare and Diversity.
Sport EO is Rachel CAVERHILL.
Education is Thomas Youngs and Elle Bishop.
And the important ones, VP, that is Leon Dixon and Charlotte Stiles.
And President, which is Gabor Ortiz and Freya Mason.
So it's going to be a very exciting evening. Now, how do you know how votes work? Well, we have a very unique system here at Loughborough University, and if you have voted already, let's take a look at how your vote is counting this evening.
So, what is STV? STV stands for Single Transferable Vote and is the voting system that the exec elections will be working under. Normally in elections you'd vote under a first-past-the-post system for an individual candidate by putting an X by their name. The exec election works on the STV system, so when you log into lsu.co.uk/exec elections, you will be presented with a list of candidates running for each role. You can rank as many or as few candidates as you wish. Under the first-past-the-post system, the candidate with the most votes wins, even if all the other candidates' votes combined are more than 50%. However, under STV, it all starts with a quota. The quota is 50% of the total votes cast plus 1. If no candidate reaches the quota in the first round, then the least popular candidate is eliminated, and their votes are redistributed based on their voters' second choices. This process will continue until the candidate reaches the quota and is elected. Although remember, RON, which stands for Reopen the Nominations, is also an option. Voting opens on 9 AM Tuesday, the 11th of May, and be sure to follow LSU Media on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for all our exec elections coverage.
So now it's time. We're going to find out who you have elected. It's been a big week of campaigning for all the candidates, and now it's time to see if their hard work has paid off.
Good evening, Loughborough. Welcome to the Executive Election Results Night 2021. Firstly, I'd love to give a huge thank you to our candidates for the passion and enthusiasm they showed this entire time, to our students and the student experience. It's been an election like never before. It's been a very different year. And despite this, our 14 candidates have worked tirelessly to earn your votes. There have been virtual lecture shout-outs, filming of music videos based on iconic musicals, daily vlogs, Snapchats, giveaways, and candid Q&As. But more than anything, we've seen candidates who are kind, knowledgeable, and confident. And regardless of who wins tonight, it's been a pleasure to meet all of you this week and get to know you a little bit more. I'd like to give a special thanks to our media and our marketing team who have worked tirelessly, not just this week, but for the entire year to bring this together. I'd like to thank our election subcommittee and the Rider DRC for ensuring that this election has the integrity that it deserves. I'd also like to give a special thanks from the deepest part of my heart to Sue Lucas, without whom I would not be standing here and without whom this election would not be happening. Thank you, Sue. We love you deeply. Finally, I'd like to extend our thanks to the student body who have participated in this election and made this possible and positive. This year, we received over 2,500 votes for students who are letting us know who they want the next leadership team to be. Tonight, we will find out who will be victorious. And so, without further ado, I would like to announce the results for the first position. Our Action Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, JODIE Evans. The total valid votes cast were 1,801. The required quota was 905. In the first round, Ron received 130 votes. JODIE, you received 1,671 votes. You exceeded the quota and duly elected as LSU Action Chair. Congratulations.
I'm here with JODIE now. How are you feeling? First candidate up and first successful candidate. How are you feeling? What's going through your mind?
I'm gonna cry.
I mean, like, obviously, digital year. Last year you managed to do the in-person campaigning. This year it's digital. How was it different? Are you happy with it?
It was a lot different not having someone campaign against. I think motivation has been quite hard, but I had an absolutely amazing campaign team, really great classmates, like people pushing me on forward. So yeah, I can't believe
Well, massive well done. You did amazingly. Going back now to Rosa and Sam.
So up next, we have another rerunner, and it is HETTIE BAWDEN going for RAG. She's already been here for 1 year, and she is aiming to go for another year. Let's take a look.
Role is the RAG Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, HETTIE BAWDEN. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,780. The required quota was 890. In the first round, Ron received 170 votes. HETTIE, you received 1,610 votes. HETTIE, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and duly elected as our RAG chair. Congratulations.
Okay, well done, HETTIE. Massive congratulations. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really happy, yeah.
Yeah, what have you got planned now?
I mean, I've got a couple of Sex on the Beach cocktails on my table, so I've got them planned, you know.
Nice. And then just partying for the rest of the evening.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, massive well done. You
Thank
did
you.
amazingly, and I can't wait to work with you for the next year.
I'm very excited.
Back to you now, Rosa and Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another big result for a rerunner there. Next up, it's Enterprise and Cameron Glenwright and Nathan Chan.
Now our next row, the Enterprise Section Chair. Please welcome our candidates, Nathan Chan and Cameron Glenwright. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,826. The quota required was 913. In the first round, Ron received 139 votes. Nathan, you received 1,177 votes. Cameron, you received 510 votes. Nathan, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected LSU's Enterprise Chair. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nathan. How are you feeling?
I'm over the moon. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, I've been nervous for the last 2 days and just like messaging a bunch of people, and yeah, I'm finally...
It clearly worked,
Yeah.
didn't it? So how will you be celebrating? Are you going to down another pint for us?
I might just do that. I will do that, in fact.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Nathan.
you.
Back to you, Rosa and Sam.
And we're now on to our last section chair, and that is Societies. And it's Seth Johnson, who went for Vice President last year and is now going for Societies this year. Let's take a look at the result.
And now for our next role, the Society Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, Seth Johnson. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,806. The quota required was 903. In the first round, Ron received 361 votes. Seth, you received 1,445 votes. Seth, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected LSU's Society Section Chair.
Congratulations on getting elected chair. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Good is the
That's
word.
always a good way. And how are you going to be celebrating tonight then?
I'm probably just going to go home and I'm probably going to play board games. So.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you very much, Seth. And again, congratulations. Back to you now, Sam and Rosa.
A man of few words and simple pleasures, but it's all, what you want. So next up, we've got Welfare and Diversity with Alex Marlowe and Jean Cameron.
And now for our first Executive Officer position of the evening. Please welcome your Welfare and Diversity Executive Officer contestants, Alex Marlowe and Jean Cameron. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,890. The required quota was 945. In the first round, Ron received 98 votes. Alex, you received 1,113 votes. Jean, you received 679 votes. Alex, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly re-elected as LSU's Welfare and Diversity Executive Officer. Congratulations.
Alex, congratulations on being re-elected as Welfare AO. How is it feeling for you?
Very good. I'm struggling to maintain all the expletives that I wanted to come out, but I'm absolutely overjoyed. Absolutely overjoyed.
Obviously, you've done now 2 election campaigns. How did it differ? How did this week go for you?
Completely different. You're going in with a completely different set of knowledge, different set of experiences, a completely different experience for the week. But I'm just really grateful. I'm really grateful.
Well, again, massive congratulations, amazing job there. Back to you now, Sam and Rosa.
Wow, our rerunners are doing very well this year, but now let's go to another rerunner, and that is Rachel Caverhill going for Sport EO. Let's take a look.
And now we have the Sports Executive Officer. Please welcome your candidate, Rachel Caverhill. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,748. The required quota was 874. In the first round, Ron received 145 votes. Rachel, you received 1,603 votes. Rachel, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected as LSU Sports Executive Officer. Congratulations.
Massive congratulations, Rachel. You've now gone from AU to sports. How is it feeling?
Really exciting. Yeah, it's really good news.
And how did the week go for you with the digital campaigning?
Yeah, it was really good actually. It was nice to obviously have to adapt the campaign to what it would be in previous years.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really fun week.
All right. Well, massive well done. You did amazingly. Back to you, Sam and Rosa.
Another great result for a rerunner there. Next up, it's education. Thomas Young and Elle Bishop.
Now, on to our Education Executive Officer. Please welcome your candidates, Eleanor Bishop and Thomas Young. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,770. The required quota was 885. In the first round, Ron received 95 votes. Eleanor, you received 799 votes. Thomas, you received 876 votes. No one reached quota and Ron has been eliminated. In the second round, Eleanor, you received 820 votes. Thomas, you received 899 votes. Thomas, in the second round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected LSU Education's Executive Officer. Congratulations.
Massive congratulations, Thomas. That was very close, though. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Honestly, I had no idea what it was going to be like in terms of the voting. Obviously, it's very different this year, but I'm just over the moon, really. I can't really put it into words. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you to everyone that's supported me and just been there and voted. I'm so happy, honestly.
And what are you going to do to celebrate them this evening?
Well, I've got a few of my campaign team here, so we're just going to have a good time.
Well, enjoy the night, enjoy the results.
Thank you so much.
All right, back to you now, Sam and Rosa.
Oh, it is heating up here now. It's getting closer and closer with the votes, but unfortunately I've still got goosebumps, so I don't think they're going to go away. On to now the most important ones. We've got Vice President Charlotte Stile up against Leon Dixon. Let's see what's going to happen.
And now for our Vice Presidential race. Please welcome the candidates, Leon Dixon and Charlotte Stile. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 1,881. The quota required was 940. In the first round, Ron received 157 votes. Leon, you received 497. Charlotte, you received 1,227. Charlotte, in the first round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected as LSU's Vice President. Congratulations.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
Yeah, good.
Is there anyone you would like to thank for helping you this week?
Just everyone who shared any posts. My proposer and seconder, Luce and Lily, they were so good and they helped me so much. But yeah.
Yeah. And what are you going to do for the rest of this evening then?
Eat my dessert and drink some BKs probably.
Love it. All right. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you now, Rosa and Sam.
Well, it's coming to the end of the night and it's been a great night for some of these candidates, but finally it's the big one. President of your Students' Union, the two candidates, Gabo Ortiz and Freya Mason.
And now, the final race of the evening. Please welcome your candidates for the role of President, Gabo Ortiz Vieira and Freya Mason. In this election, the total valid votes cast were 2,180. The quota was 1,090. In the first round, Ron received 130 votes. Gabo, you received 653 votes. Freya, you received 1,397 votes. Freya, in the first round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected as LSU's president. Congratulations.
Freya, congratulations. You are
Thank you
now
so
the
much.
next president here at LSU. How do you feel?
So happy. I'm going to go over there and cry when I get back to my campaign team, but I'm honestly so relieved and so happy, and I can't thank everyone else enough.
Anyone you want to specifically thank?
Obviously my campaign team for helping me through. I could not have relied on them enough. Obviously everyone here at LSU, like, you all did an amazing job with the media and stuff for days on straight, but also obviously to my other candidate as well. He put on a really good campaign and made me really work for it, so I'm really grateful for that.
And what are you going to do now to celebrate?
The drink's going to start flying in to start off with.
I'd like to hear that. All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Back to you now, Sam and Rosa.
Well, there you go. There are your new executive officers and chairs for 2021 to 22. Sam, what do you think of the results overall?
I think there were one or two shocks, maybe, but all in all, you know, the exit polls were pretty true to form and mostly predicted. As you can see, the drink's already flowing and the candidates are enjoying themselves.
You've got to do it. You've got to celebrate if you've got it. And of course, if you're re-watching this back and you did run for a role this year and you didn't get it, please still be proud of yourself for running in a pandemic. That is one of the most difficult things that anybody could do here. And you should be so proud of yourselves. Regardless, you should be celebrating of what you have done this week. Absolutely incredible.
We saw, you know, a slightly lower voter count this year, and that's due to the pandemic. But I think the candidates did a really good job of engaging as many people as possible by the new digital formats.
Yeah, so we're going to go over to Danny now, who is with Fajiro, who was just releasing all of the results. Let's have a look.
Yes, I am back here with Fajiro. Welcome back. We meet again.
Indeed.
How was that for you? Anything like unexpected? How did it go for you?
Well, I think I didn't lean too much into prediction. I think I was just really blown away by the campaigns throughout the week. I think I'm exceedingly proud of each and every candidate, the ones that were successful and ones that weren't, because all of them poured their entire hearts into this campaign. So it was very interesting. I actually just found out the results along with the rest of you, and hopefully I did a good job of not betraying my emotions. But it was a very interesting end to the election.
And then how are this new exec cohort going to work with the next new VC? How's this going to work, do you think?
Well, so obviously that's a really important thing to us. Our relationship with the university obviously is a cornerstone of the Students' Union. So I think the relationship will sort of start sort of slowly before, obviously, they take time in time. And over the summer, during the handover period, and as we go into the new year, I believe there will be a lot of time spent with the new team, especially the president and the new vice chancellor, sort of creating that working relationship for the next year.
And then I feel like it would be wrong for us not to ask, but there was no media officer. What's going to happen in terms of trying to find a new media officer, and how would that work?
Well, so in the next couple of weeks, we will reopen nominations for the media officer, and we're hoping that some of the brilliant volunteers that we have in media choose to take up the mantle, but it will be in the next couple of weeks. So for anyone thinking of running, watch out.
All right then, thank you so much, Fajiro. That was Fajiro there. Let's throw it back over to Sam and Rosa.
Okay, so we're going to have a little chat about the next officers coming in and then new challenges facing the next year ahead. And obviously a huge one is the pandemic and coming out of it.
Yeah, sure. We saw the voter numbers this year down to around 2,000 students. That's less than a third of what they were pre-COVID levels. So it'll be a big challenge for this exec to try and re-engage the student population.
Yeah, and of course, we haven't got a media chair this year, so they're going to have to make sure that they keep media up and running. Otherwise, next year, they're not going to have these roles. They're not going to have this system up and running. So it's so important, but it's going to be a difficult year, I think, for all of them, but it's going to be a challenging one, but really thrilling. Anyway, we're going to take it back over to Danny, who has got the current education officer.
Okay, I am here now with Anna, the current executive officer. How did it go for you? How did you find the elections now?
So amazing. It's been so good to see everyone. I think that's been very much so exciting. It was awfully close a lot of times. I think it's been so good to see them campaign and stand for what they believe in. And I generally, at least when looking at my candidates, and I think that's been the overall feeling, people have been so friendly and so willing to learn from one another. That's what I've picked up from the Q&As, and I think that's been so exciting. And I think their ideas are basically not going to go to vain, so it's great.
What advice will you give to now the next exec group in how to work well with each other?
Be open-minded and allow yourselves to fail. I think especially as a group, it's very important to build that team. And I think especially the first few weeks and months will show them that. And of course, be friendly and willing to listen and understand each other.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Anna. Back to you, Rosie and Sam.
All right, so I did want to have a little chat about, obviously, Freya's win tonight, and we saw that a high proportion of the votes actually came from Faraday Hall. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, as a previous hall chair, she's obviously managed to get the hall's vote, and as we've seen today, that's been a very important part of winners' campaigns, because a lot of these candidates, Charlotte Stahl included, she's an IMS exec, she's been a hall chair, and you saw there that maybe that hall vote pushed her over the line.
And she's only 19. I can't believe it. She's going to have an incredible year, a very challenging year, but an incredible one. Anyway, Danny is back over, but this time he is with a Sport EO.
Yes, I am now here with James Greer, the current sports SIO? SIO, you're an EO. How did it go for you? Rachel obviously won her one. How happy are you for her that she's won and followed in your footsteps from AU to sports?
Yeah, I think Rachel ran a fantastic campaign. I think she articulated herself well, particularly in Soapbox. I think obviously next steps is for her to come back to work and finish off dealing with current issues and things that are going on within the AU before she starts her role in August.
And what are you looking forward to her doing the next year? What would you like to see her do next year?
Yeah, I think obviously Rachel's learned a lot about the athletic union and student sport this year. And one of the things that we've been really working towards is making the athletic union more sustainable and better resource for the future, but also elevating the sport executive officer position to being more of a student representative for the entire student body in sport, and not just necessarily focusing primarily on the athletic union. So I'd be really keen to see her continue that legacy, of course see her fulfill her manifesto points, yes. And just see herself grow over her next year in office.
All right. Well, thank you very much, James. Back to you, Rosa and Sam.
Okay, so finally we wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about, obviously the pandemic has had a huge impact on all of us, all of the students, mentally and emotionally. So I think this year the execs are going to have to prioritise that.
Yeah, we saw Alex, the welfare candidate, regain his position, and that's maybe due to the fact that students are actually happy with the services that he's provided during this. But it'll be good for the new exec to have someone like Alex to, lean on throughout their changeover period.
And lastly, we're going to throw it back over to Danny, who is now with our current president, Matt Youngs.
Yes, I am now here with Matt Youngs. Matt, how the whole kind of election period, how did it look for you?
I think every single candidate did an exceptional job. They were thrown a campaign week that none of us could have imagined at this time of year. And the fact that they had to do it wholly digitally, and yet they were still able to get their faces out there, still able to be personable, albeit in a virtual environment. I think every single candidate, regardless of whether they won or lost, should be very, very proud of themselves.
Obviously, Freya is now the next elected president here at the SU. What advice would you give to her specifically as a president going into the next year, and also with a new VC?
Absolutely. We've got this whole kaleidoscope of things that have come together, and I think what is absolutely extraordinary is we've got to remember that Freya is a second year. She's doing president as a placement, and she is leading a team of very experienced individuals, some of them completely new to LSU, which is fantastic, but she's got to assert herself as the leader. She's shown throughout this week that she is capable of getting herself out there. She's got to start working on those relationships with the university, like you said, new vice-chancellor coming in.
Yes.
And it's going to be that fine balancing act, but I've got complete faith and confidence in her that she'll do a fantastic job.
And then as the whole exec, kind of what advice would you give for them to bond really well? And I don't want to kind of make it seem bad, but do a better job than you, potentially.
That's an outrageous suggestion, Danny. I would say the most important thing is get in that team building as quickly as you can. Last year, when we were all elected and then went straight into lockdown, I was really keen to ensure that we still touch base with one another. Fortunately for this year's team, because we have had a later election, they've only got 10 weeks or so until they start on exec. That provides you with the perfect opportunity to come together as a team. We've got beer gardens starting to open up again. We've got pubs starting to open up again. Spend some time socially with one another. Once you understand each other socially as a team and you've built those initial bridges, use that as your springboard for professional success.
Very much. That was Matt Youngs, the Students' Union president. Back to you now, Rosa and Sam.
Well, there you go. There are your results for the Student Executive Elections 2021. It has been such a fun evening. I'm obviously so cold, but we're going to carry on as usual. I want to say a huge thank you to the whole of the LSU media team, all of the media volunteers and everybody that is currently backstage that has been working so hard to put the elections up and running on this year. Please give yourselves a huge applause. You should all be so proud of yourselves. Sam, thank you so much for joining me and also having a blue suit with you.
Oh, that's all right, Rosa. And well done to yourself. You've held the show down like a
tramp.
Okay, so you can see that it is all descended into chaos here. But from all of us at LSU Media, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next year at next year's results show.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
So hi, I'm JODIE Evans. I can try and find a way of getting people who aren't necessarily engaged with LSU at all and work on projects that we can get them engaged with.
My name is HETTIE BAWDEN. So when I say that I'm a candidate for continuity, I mean that I will continue to prioritise and fight for those changes to be made.
I'm SETH, I'm Royal Society Chair this year. I think societies are basically drooling to be more physical again.
If you want to vote for me, please do. Thank you very much. Making sure that we're really getting in there and getting as many events going as we possibly can to get the students going, whoa, this is exciting.
Please vote for me, Nathan Chapter. So I totally agree with Cameron about collaboration.
So I'm Rachel CAVERHILL. Student representation is imperative to the role, and that is why I talk about it in my manifesto.
Hello, my name is Jean Cameron. I think there's a wealth of benefits in creative and expressive events that aim to relieve stress.
I'm Alex Marlowe. Placing your vote with me is a vote for meaningful and tangible progress for you and our campuses.
Hi, I'm Elle, where it's not just taking students' points of what needs to be done better in just the education or just welfare and diversity,
but specifically both those things together.
Experience and has really enabled me to gain a holistic insight into the education section.
Hi everyone, I'm Leon. I think one of the key parts of the Vice President role is obviously line managing the sections.
My name is Charlotte Starr. This experience has really helped me learn so much about the union, its sections and what needs to improve.
My name is Freya. My manifesto is based around maintaining both old and new traditions as we ease out of the pandemic.
My name is Gabor Vieira. With a new VC come new opportunities. With the introduction of a new Vice Chancellor at the university, it is very important for us to start off on the right foot.
Tonight, we found out who you have elected as your new executive officers and chairs for 2021 to 22.
Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, JODIE, Evan. In the first round, Ron received 130 votes. JODIE, you received 1,671 votes. You exceeded the quota and duly elected as eligible is the RAG Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, HETTIE, BAWDEN. In the first round, Ron received 170 votes. HETTIE, you received 1,610 votes. HETTIE, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and duly elected as our RAG Chair. Congratulations. Now, our next role, the Enterprise Section Chair. Please welcome our candidates, Nathan Chan and Cameron Glenwright. In the first round, Ron received 139 votes. Nathan, you received 1,177 votes. Cameron, you received 510 votes. Nathan, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected LSU's Enterprise Chair. Congratulations. And now for our next role, the Society Section Chair. Please welcome your candidates, Seth Johnson. In the first round, Ron received 361 votes. Seth, you received 1,445 votes. Seth, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected LSE's Society Section Chair. Please welcome your Welfare and Diversity Executive Officer contestants, Alex Marlowe and Jean Cameron. In the first round, Ron received 98 votes. Alex, you received 1,113 votes. Jean, you received 679 votes. Alex, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly re-elected as LSU's Welfare and Diversity Executive Officer. And now, we have the Sports Executive Officer. Please welcome your candidates, Rachel CAVERHILL. In the first round, Ron received 145 votes. Rachel, you received 1,603 votes. Rachel, in the first round, you exceeded the quota and are duly elected as LSU Sports Executive Officer. And on to our Education Executive Officer. Please welcome your candidates, Eleanor Bishop and Thomas Youngs. In the second round, Eleanor, you received 820 votes. Thomas, you received 899 votes. Thomas, in the second round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected LSU Education's Executive Officer. Congratulations. For our Vice Presidential race, please welcome your candidates, Leon Dixon and Charlotte Style. In the first round, Ron received 157 votes. Leon, you received 497. Charlotte, you received 1,227. Charlotte, in the first round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected as LSU's Vice President. Please welcome your candidates for the role of President, Gabor Vieira and Freya Mason. In the first round, Ron received 130 votes. Gabor, you received 653 votes. Freya, you received 1,397 votes. Freya, in the first round, you exceeded quota and are duly elected as LSU's president. Congratulations.